Let go of the guilt. Let go of whatever was and walk into what is.
I feel those chains are breaking, yeah. I fear God, I don't fear death. I see those stripes and take a step.
Critic, and today I'm going to review one of the most anticipated movies of the year, Creed 3. Now, Creed 3 is basically the post-career of Adonis Creed, played by Michael B. Jordan. Now, during this time, he's worried about his family, his legacy, the people that he mentors. He still has a family with Bianca, played by Tessa Thompson, has his daughter, Amora, and he's basically living the post-career life. He don't have to fight anymore. He's fought his last fight, and he just want to settle. Until his old friend comes along, named Dame, played by Jonathan Majors, who comes to him and just want a shot at a title, wants to redeem himself after being in jail for almost 18 years. And that's basically the plot of the story. Now, I'm just going to tell you right now, I absolutely love Creed 3. It is amazing, and right now it is one of the best films of the year. Now, the first thing I want to get to is there's so much I really want to get into, because surprisingly, there's so many details, so many plots and themes that I didn't even know that would excite me this much. But the first thing I want to talk about are the visual storytelling and the themes. Now, the themes of this movie, throughout the whole Creed franchise, is basically legacy. And now we look at legacy as a positive, We are either legacy of trying to live up to the people that we're from in the past, like how Apollo Creed has Adonis Creed, and Adonis Creed trying to live up to Apollo Creed's legacy, right? But then we also have the legacy of what if. What if I wasn't in that situation and I had the opportunity to be able to box, to continue to box and have my own career that could have been a dream? Or what if I was in a certain situation and it takes away the legacy that I already have? Those are the different types of legacy it attacks. Now, the first Creed, it was about following the footsteps of his father. The second Creed was basically, I need to have vengeance, but I need to accept that he's gone, and hopefully I'm willing to forgive the person that was responsible or accidentally responsible for killing my dad. And this was the legacy of what if. What if I didn't go into the situation and handle it differently? Should I leave everything in the past, or should I just say it is what it is and just continue with what good I'm going with right now, with my family and everything that's got going for me? And that's what I like about this movie. Also, when it comes to, I won't get to Jonathan Majors in a second, but when it comes to Dame's character represents every athlete that had an opportunity to become, the LeBrons, the Tiger Woods, and all that. Because even though you see the athletes today as one of the best, you haven't really seen the best, because usually the best are in deep stuff. They either get, like, you have LeBron that's not in trouble at all, that just does the right thing and just goes toward a straight path, while others are involved, especially living in the inner city, involving gangs, shootings, drugs, all that. And some athletes get caught up in that, and they have a missed opportunity because of the situation they're in. Whether it's missing school, whether it's doing some other things that will decline you to being a professional boxer, being a professional basketball player, a professional boxer, a professional football player, any type of sport that you want, or even acting or anything else that can get you that can live up to your dreams. But it gets in, but other stuff that's off that is in the way because you're distracted by that instead of what you're trying to go towards. So I really like how they attack on stuff like that, especially when it comes to black men. Because black men, you know, athletes goes through the situation and they don't have that many opportunities because of the environments they're in usually. And I like how they attack that with this film. Now, the visual storytelling, it is amazing. Now, I heard that Michael B. Jordan referenced some anime stuff here, and it's definitely here. You can tell by certain scenes that they took certain elements brick by brick and just put it on screen. Once you, especially during the fights, once you see it during the fights, it's just there, and you're just like, wow, he actually put that scene in the movie, and it's just dope to see. Also, even though the dialogue is good here, but the way the actors act and the way they stare at each other, the movements they have, even during the boxing matches, the way they dissect certain parts that they should attack, or the way they react to certain hits that they get, you can just see the expressions that they have and understand, man, he's frustrated, man, he has regret, man, he's sorry for what he's done. Like, everything is there with the expressions on the actors' faces, and it's just really surprisingly good. Like, I can't believe how much I'm really into the fighting. I mean, even though the Creed had some good fights, but this movie here has some of the best fights I've seen in this franchise. The way Michael B. Jordan shows certain action scenes, the way he, like, for example, shows people faces, like how they stare at each other, the way they look at certain body parts and thinking, should I attack this part or not? The way the punches impact the body, and you're just like, oh my God, that looked like it really hurt. And that's just amazing. Jonathan Majors is a star, bro. He is an absolute star. As Dame, you understand the complexity to this character and know why he's acting the way he's acting, how he's just envious of Creed, how much he wants to be champion, and how much he wants to live up to his dream. Because as a kid, he wants to become a boxer just like Creed. But unlike Creed, he didn't have the opportunity to do that because of the situation that he was in, which led him to being in jail for 18 years. Now, this could easily be a run-of-the-mill villain where, oh, I'm evil, you disrespected me, you didn't call me when I needed you, I'm gonna be this evil person. They didn't do that. They dissected Dame as this misunderstood character that got into a situation where he wasn't supposed to be in, and he's just angry at Creed because of the things that happened throughout those years, and it just made him retaliate and have some vengeance. And you definitely understand Dame. Like, it's like I said, it's not a black or white thing, because Creed had done some bad things himself. As we see in the first Creed, he went to jail and he got into some situations where he got himself in trouble. So these are not black and white characters. They're very complex and very understanding, especially from the environments they're from. Now, when I talk about the what ifs and the legacies and all that, this mostly talks about people in prison. And as a black man, I kind of understand how, like I have relatives and friends that had these opportunities to become something bigger than they are, like being athletes and, you know, just being smart, having these skill sets that could lead them to better lives. Yet they get into these situations where it put them in jail and they just couldn't get back that opportunity again. And especially people in jail where they're just alone and they want somebody to support them and, you know, keep them company. Yet throughout the years, they just fade out, and they just feel alone and feel like they don't have no purpose, or feel like they have to prove themselves to say, hey, you didn't support me, you didn't keep me company when I needed you. Now you're going to understand why you should have done it. And there's definitely people like that. I remember watching $1 Million Worth of Game, and before this movie came out, Michael B. Jordan did an interview with Wallow and Gilly the Kid. You should check out the interview. It's great. And Wallow says that as someone that been to jail for a lot of years, it was definitely impactful to him, because he felt that he could have easily been envious and bitter and all that. And Michael B. Jordan said that's exactly why I try to point out in the movie, and that's definitely referenced here. And I'm kind of glad that they talk about that, and you will definitely see that in the movie without me going any further to the story, because that would be spoiler. So, oh yeah, by the way, Adonis' daughter is deaf, so they do this sign language thing, which I'm kind of glad that they're doing more of, because we seen that with The Last of Us, and we seen that with that movie Coda last year, which talks about deaf people, and I don't know if you call it a DLS or something like that, but they do that here and talk about the daughter. And usually with kid actors, they usually be annoying, but here the daughter was just amazing. Amora, she was great. They talk about her issues and how she pick up certain elements from her father, and Bianca has a problem with that because she don't want her to go to the same path as Adonis, which is understandable because sometimes he do have some anger issues. But she was great here, and I'm glad that they put in more deaf people here, more representation. And it makes sense because, you know, she was a baby and she was deaf back then. She was deaf in the second movie, so that makes sense to continue that story here. And also the mom, played by Felicia Rashad, she was great too. I'll just say I have a little bit of issue of how they put the story in that, but that's for another time. So, but overall, I thought she was really good, and the plot that they were going with, I thought, yeah, this makes perfect sense why they would go this route. Oh yeah, like I said before, the anime references, Dame and Adonis is basically Goku and Vegeta. If you know what I mean by Goku and Vegeta, that's basically what they are. Like, there's so many anime references here that you're gonna point, that you're gonna be like, hey, I seen that. Hey, I seen that visual. Hey, I see what type of dramatics they going with, because this is how an anime boxing show or whatever works here. So I'm kind of glad that they did that. So those are basically my positives for the movie, which is a lot. Now there are a few issues or nitpicks that I have. Now when it comes to Felicia Rashad, I'll just say a little plot. I feel like there's certain plots where they could have stretching it out, because this movie is an hour and 57 minutes. Could have been a little bit longer, because if it was a little bit longer, then some story beats would hit even more. But as a result, it felt a little rushed. So that's me helping y'all out, not spoiling it, but that's basically one of my issues with it. Also, the twists that they have with this movie, they're predictable. The first thing you see, the first few things you see in here, you'd be like, yeah, it's definitely gonna happen. Oh, that's what y'all doing? Yeah, I kind of see it coming from a mile away. So they do have some predictable parts here, but it didn't really bother me because I was already into the story. So when the twist does happen, I'm just like, all right, it happened. I knew what was going on. I knew the business. Also, it's not really a nitpick. It was just something that I just realized that it's not really a spoiler because they don't really get into that. But there's no Rocky reference here. I mean, of course, they could say like a few sentences here and there, but overall, you got nothing Rocky here. No Sylvester Stallone, nothing like that. Yeah, thought that might be important to put out. Not really a spoiler, but you know, don't want people to get disappointed that he's not. But overall, This movie was amazing. I love the visual storytelling. Michael B. Jordan put his foot in this movie, and I hope WB pays some top dollar to do a DC movie. Please let him do Static. Please. All right, that's unprofessional. But Michael B. Jordan did his thing. I hope he does a few more movies down the line. Jonathan Majors is one of the top actors this year. He's gonna get something this year, cause I know he got a few more movies that gonna put him in Oscar contenders, which I hope they put a trailer for it out soon, which I hope to react to. But Jonathan Majors is amazing. I already knew he was a great actor, but he's just amazing in this, and he put so much dedication to this because the way his body just built, like damn, bro, you can kill Creed. But yeah, Jonathan Majors was great. I thought the daughter was amazing. Adonis Creed daughter was amazing. Tessa Thompson was really good. Felicia Rashad. Even Woody Harris was funny here. He had some good moments here. There's a few cameos that I really enjoyed that surprised me. Yeah, I really love this movie. Now, would I put it up top Creed 1? I don't know. I need to give it a few watches before I say anything audacious or anything like that. But for right now, I would say it could be up there with Creed or even better, depending on how I massage seeing this movie in my memory. So, yeah, I will give this Creed 3 a 9 out of 10. Yeah, 9 out of 10 would be good. Like I said before, visual storytelling, great. Acting, great. Action, fantastic. The themes, very impactful. And if this is the way they close out Creed 3, this is a great way to close it out. So that's basically it for my review for Creed 3. Make sure to give me a comment down below. Give me your thoughts on what you thought about it or what you excited about. Let me know. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to be the first to see my new content. Alright, y'all. Peace.